ఎందుకంటే
Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon. So my voice is audible to everyone. My screen is visible and my voice is audible. Can anybody write a message in chat box? Okay, yesterday I discussed the topic of project scope. So once again and repeat, because lot of students are not join this session, so I repeat the yesterday topic. Then I will go for the next topics. Okay. So see here project scope. Project scope is the work performed to deliver a product, a service, or result with specified features and functions. Okay. So what does it mean? So here project scope describes what work should be performed to meet all those requirements. So what are the requirements that are needed? We have to describe what work should be performed to meet requirement. We have to describe in project scope. Okay. So some of the project scopes. First, we have to identify objectives and project measures. I already told you in first class only. I have to identify our projects. Identify objectives and project measures means how do we know our project is success. Only when we have clear objectives only, then only we have to tell that our project is success. So that we have to identify objectives clearly. Second one, establish project authorities. So here we have to choose who is the boss. So for project success, establish a project authority. Okay, then stakeholder analysis. So here we have to choose identify stakeholders. So here some of the stakeholders are affected or involved in the project. Some of the stakeholders who will be affected or involved in the project. So we have to identify them. Next, modify objectives in the light of stakeholder analysis. Here, first of all, before starting the project, take some of the requirements are taken from customers, and other are known by our stakeholders, those who are affected or involved in our project. So those objectives are directly used in our project. Okay, so project manager has to take responsibility about this type of activities taken from stakeholders. Okay, if this activity is good for our this objective is good for our project, or not, project manager has to take care. Next one, establish communication. So here we have to communicate with our organization, so with all parties. So we have established a communication method with all parties. We have to maintain the we have to every week we have to conduct meeting to our all parties to know about the status of our project. Okay, these are about the project scope. So today we will discuss about project products and deliverables. Only 57 students are joined. Okay, see here project products. We already discussed about project products in our project planning. So in project planning, we have discussed our project products in 4.3. Okay, so we already discussed in 4.3 the same concept we are using here also. So this is project production deliverables. So what is project product? So I'm waiting for other students. So I will continue. Just see the PPT. So see here, project product. So a product includes beginning stage of the project. So see here, a product includes beginning stage of the project. So beginning stage of the project we call it as a project product. So here beginning stage of the project, for example, such as proposals, beginning stage of the product, and agendas, reports, analysis, and technical products, that is training material, operational instructions. So all these comes under beginning stage of the project. One is proposal or agendas or reports or analysis or some of the technical products. Okay. This is comes under project product. So a work product beginning at the analysis made during the development of the project. So before development of the project, we have to analyze the product. So before development of the project, we have to analyze the product. Here, example. So here, some companies use information available to the here companies use products to provide information available to the investors. So these companies use the products and the information due to the inventors. So this is also include prototypes and presentations and diagrams and recorded discussions. So here so companies are use the product and they tell about the product by using prototypes or telling them by presentation or telling them about the diagrams or they recorded some by recorded discussions. So they provide information to the investors by prototype or presentation or diagrams or recorded discussion. So is used as a source of information while the project is progressing. So here product used as a source of information while project is progressing. Okay. Understand? This is about project product. This is about project product. Next, come to the definition, project deliverable. Project deliverable. So today we are talking about what our project deliverables. We hear that term all the time on the projects. So whether you are the project manager asking your team members, for example, you are the project manager, you are asking your team member what the status of their deliverables, what are the status of their deliverables, or the team member with your project manager asking you for the status, or maybe even you asking you other team members what the status of their deliverables. So once you, for example, you are the project manager, you ask your team member or your one of the team member, then your project manager will asking you about the status of your deliverables, or you are the team member, you ask other team members what the status of their deliverables. So actually what is deliverable? So the products that are hand over to the client at the end of the project, we call it as a deliverable. Okay, or some other words, something produced or provided as a result of a process. Something produced or provided as a result of a process, we call it as a deliverable. So for result of a process, we have to produce or provided something, that we call it as a deliverable. So what is process? So see here, so if you look at the process, we get input, and even the input into the process could be deliverable. It could be taking, see here, input, process, output, see the diagram here. So here input, it could be taking some form of information or some type of documents, from project, or it will take input a plan, or it may be even some equipment or money. These are all inputs, or even softwares, that not all the different types. So input even software, that all not all the different types, but these are examples of an input. So what are the inputs here? One is information, or documents, or plan, or equipment, or money, or software. These are the input to the process. So what are the, these are the examples of input. So what are the output? So examples of input you could take into the process, and outputs you may get something like consultation, or you may get a project plan, or some type of tool, or app, or software test result. These are the outputs, or maybe even a contract. So if you look these again, these are just examples, but in a project you are producing deliverables. Understand? So here you are producing deliverables that are either a product or service, and with those you want to be sure that you get a due date for each deliverable. You must identify the due date, and also make sure that it is a specific or measurable. We are using the mnemonic for objectives. One of the objective is specific and another one is measurable. So before deliverable, make sure that it is a specific or measurable. So here outputs are, the process outputs are consultation, or project plan, or tools, or app, or some of softwares, or test results or contracts. So these are comes under the outputs. So here, see here, project is again divided into two parts. One is project life cycle and another one is product life cycle. So here project life cycle includes project management deliverables. So what is deliverable? The products that are handed over to the client at the end of the project, we call it as a project deliverable. So see here project life cycle includes project management deliverable. What is project management deliverables? So some of the project management deliverables is first one is project plan. This is we call it as a project management deliverable. Another one is reports. So reports is also comes under project management deliverables. And also how many hours we time in minutes. So how many you are conducting meet in minutes. So minutes is also project management deliverables. Okay. Next go to the product life cycle. So here product life cycle includes product deliverables. So what are the product deliverables here? First one is hardware, next software, those are the product deliverables. Next app is also product deliverable. Next contract is also product deliverable. Then results is also product deliverable. So all these comes under project. So project split into project life cycle and product life cycle. So project life cycle is project life cycle includes project management deliverables and product life cycle includes product deliverables. So these are all about project products and deliverables. So beginning of the project we call it as a project product, and we hand out to the client, we call it as a product deliverable. So does everybody understand? Or anybody has any doubt regarding project product and deliverables? Okay. Next I move to the topic. Project activities. So here project activities, here more detailed planning of individual activities takes place. So we have to detail information about individual activities. Here project activity includes split the project into individual activities, already told you. So here detailed information about individual activities. So while the immediate tasks are planned in details, first of all, you have to identify and describe the project products. Next, document generic product flows. Next, recognize product instances. And next one, produce ideal activity network. Last one, modify ideal to take into account need for stages and checkpoints. So first go to identify, describe and project products. So here project products, we have already discussed the project product flowchart in stepwise planning, step number 4, we discussed in step 4.3. So the same concept we are included here, project products. So I will explain it. So first of all, we have to identify and describe the project products. Here products are of two types. One is technical product. So here technical product, that is, it includes training material and management products such as planning the document, recording quality of the project. So here technical products including planning the document, which quality of the product. So here products form a hierarchy. So this is the hierarchy. So here product forms a hierarchy. The main product will have set of components which in turn may have sub-component products. So here products are split into sub-parts. So this is the relationship between component products and sub-products can be documented in a product breakdown structure as shown in the flowchart. Understand? Already discussed in previous topic. These products will form the hierarchy. The main product will have a set of component products, which in turn may have sub-component product and so on. For example, here project product split into system product, module product and management product. Here system product has some sub components, overall specification, integration test cases and test integration. Already discussed this flowchart in 4.3. Here module products also split into two parts. So this relationship can be documented in a, how we documented in PBS. So PBS means product breakdown structure. See here, the boxes that are represented the products at the bottom of hierarchy. See here, bottom of hierarchy. Subdivided. These are not further subdivided. The bottom of the hierarchy. Okay. Here the boxes that are higher up. For example, module products are simply the name of the group of the item. Here module products is simply the names of the group of the item. A product can be a person or process of training. A product may be a person or process of training. Next, a product can be easily documented and it is the result of an activity. See here, project can be easily documented and it is result of an activity. So see the flowchart. Here products are divided into sub products and each sub component has subdivided but the bottom hierarchy will not divided. So this diagram we call it as a product breakdown structure. Understand? So here product description generally contains what are the product description generally contains? Name of the product or purpose of the product or derivation of the product or form of the product. So these are the generally the product description contains name of the product or purpose of the product or derivation of the product or form of the which type the product is and which type of the form of the product or quality criteria that defines whether the product is acceptable or not. Here also the product description also includes the quality criteria which defines whether the product is acceptable or not. So this is about identify and describe the project products. Here product description describes, already told you, name, purpose, derivation and quality. Okay. Next one, documentation the generic flow graphs. See second one, documentation the generic flow graph. So see here, this is we call it as a framework of PFD. So PFD nothing but here PFD nothing but product flow chart. We call it as a product flow diagram. PFD nothing but product flow diagram. See the diagram. So this is a document generic flow chart flows, product flows. So here we already discussion about project products. Now we have to document the generic product flows. So here some products will need one or more other products to exist. So here some products will need one or more other products to exist first before they can be created. See here, some products will one or more before they can be created. For example, a program design. Here, for example, a program design must be created before the program. Can be so before program written to create program design. Okay, so for example, a program design to be created before program specification. Okay, so the relationship can be shown. The flow diagram starts My voice is audible. Okay, connection disconnected. Okay, screen is visible. Okay, see here. User requirements. See here user requirements are in oval shape, so it is used by the project but not created by it. Okay, the overall product is obtained at the bottom. So here PFDs should not have link between the products. Here PFD is they should not here PFDs should not have the link between the products. So here PFDs allows looping back at any point. For example, is here in integration testing, if it is found that user requirements are missed, then we go back to the overall system specification and change it. So is there any risk or problem occurred, we again go back to the overall system specification and we solve that problem. Okay. And a PFD depends on assumption and decision. So it is a textual description explaining reasons for structure that can be helpful. So here we have to see here top to bottom approach. Is there any problem occur in integration system cases? It go back to the overall system and solve the problem and come to then give to the integrated tested software. Okay, understand? Next one, recognize product instances. So recognize product instances. So an attempt should be made to identify each and every instances. So recognize product instances means an attempt should be made to identify each and every instances. That is about recognize product. So there must be here there may be delay to later in the product when more information is known. So if there is, if the more information is known, then maybe delayed to the later product. So we have to recognize the product instances. So the type of activities will occur, we have to recognize that. Why delay? Because we are getting more information about that product. So that delay, so recognize the type of product instances. Next one, product ideal activity network. So it is explained by an example of activity network. This is the activity network. Already this example I explained in previous step 4.3. So here we create an activity. This is we call it as this diagram. We call it as a activity network. So here we create an activity network which shows the tasks that have to be carried out and the order in which they have to be executed. Which order they have to be executed. For example, here see here specify overall system. Then see here the integration test cases. Here to have design module A and design module B. Then we go to code A, code B, and then go to the test integrated software. So this is the direction which we have to go. We call it as a activity network diagram. Okay. We call it as a activity network diagram. So in the above table, it is shown that both the modules are developed in parallel. So here module A, module B are both are developed in parallel. You can understand this diagram, we call it as a activity network diagram. Okay. So this type of example already I explained in 4.3. Here we are using some checkboxes for in between module and design and code. We do not include design before design because here there is no activity created. After design A and design B, then we go for the code module. In between design A and code, we introduce or we put checkboxes. Okay, or checkpoint. So checkpoints are used for what is checkpoint? One activity to shift for the other activity. If any one of the activities completed, it go for the text cases. Okay, module A complete code A, module B is completed, go for code B. So here in between them we use checkpoints. So modify to take account number, stages and checkpoints. I already told you that is to check that they are compatible. So here there could be some key attributes or milestones which represents the completion. We have to note the milestones we have reached it not. So we have to note that in, or we have to create a document for that. So or which represent the completion of important stage of the project. If they would want to take particular note. So why we are using here checkpoints means once the one of the activity is completed, then we have to make a document for that, and we have to take a note for that. After completion, then go for the other activity. So by using checkpoint activities only, we have to create important stages of the project. So this is about all the project activities regarding the activities involved in the project. These are the 5 steps we are involved in project activities. Does everybody understand about project activities? Next, effort estimation. Next, go to the topic effort. So, what is effort estimation? So, effort estimation so see here effort estimation are divided into 2 categories: carry out bottom up estimates and revise plan to create controllable activities. So what is carry out bottom up estimates? Here carry out bottom up estimates, here the estimates of the staff effort and probable elapsed time is required. We have to estimate the staff effort and the elapsed time required. Then the difference between the elapsed time and effort should be noted. So we have to identify the difference between the effort time and the elapsed time. We have to note that. Then effort is the amount of work that needs to be done. So effort means amount of work that needs to be done. To complete the work, we call it as a effort. And elapsed time is the time between the start and end of the task. If the starting and ending of the task, we call it as elapsed time. And the effort is the amount of work that needs to be done. We call it as a effort. So we have to note here estimate of the staff effort required and also elapsed time. We have to note both for effort and effort time, elapsed time. Okay. Next one, revise plan to create controllable activities. So see here, revise to plan controllable activities. See here, some the individual activities may take a quite long time. We already know some of the activities take long time. For long term activities, we are make a document short time. We are created some table check boxes for that. Okay, so long activities make project difficult to control. So already everybody know long activities make project difficult to control. So if the activity is to take in 12 weeks, for example, if the activity is taken in 12 weeks, we have to, it should be difficult after 6 weeks to judge accurately whether 50% of the work is completed or not. So after 6 weeks, so the target time is 12 weeks. After 6 weeks, we have to check our work is completed, 50% of work is completed. So if the work is not completed, so it would be better to break this down into series of smaller subtasks. If the after 6 weeks, if the work is not completed, we better to break down into series of smaller subtasks. So try to make actives knowing the length of the reporting period used for monitoring and control the project. We have to know or to have to find the length of the activities, because we have to report at the end of report and control them. Okay. So if we have a progress meeting every 2 weeks, if you're conducting a meeting every 2 weeks, it would be convenient to have activities of 2 weeks duration of an average. So if we are conducting any for every 2 weeks, if in 2 weeks any project continuously running, then we have to break them into subtasks. So for this purpose, we are conducting meetings. So all these comes under revised plan to create controllable activities. For longer activities, we split them into smaller one, and also we have to conduct a meeting every week. Why? Because every twice a week, because we are know about the condition of the activities we already chosen. If the activities goes convenient, if the activities duration are not completed within duration, so we have to extend the or split the activity into subparts. So all this comes under effort estimation. So carry out bottom up estimation and revised plan to create controllable activities. Last topic in our first unit is project infrastructure. So last topic in our first unit is project infrastructure. So this is usually some kind of existing infrastructure into which the project must fit. So we have okay, see here, project infrastructure. First one, identify relation between the project and strategic plan. Here, project manager. So here project management should get the strategy plans of the project for the selection of the project to be carried out by an organization. Here, project management should check the existing strategic plan of the project because the project to be carried out by an organization. There is a here here there will be also some technical framework within which the proposed new system should fit. Here technical framework in within which the proposed new system should fit. So there will be some hardware and software standards need to communicate. So all these we have to identify the relationship. Then all these should be documented. Okay, one is the project management, the existing strategic plan and hardware and software. So all this should be documented as a part of enterprise architecture process. So all these documented because as a part of enterprise architecture process. Okay. Next one, identify installation procedures. So here an organization that develops software should define their development procedures. So first one, change control and configuration management. Requirements. Here changes in requirements or implementation in a safe order. So we have to consider and change control and configuration management standards. Next one, separate quality standards manual. So here quality standards. So here we have to identify quality standard manuals should be in order to check the quality at each point of the screen. So here identify standards and procedure. We have to separate the quality standards because it should be placed in order to check the quality at each point of the project life cycle. Finally, the project manager should be aware of the project planning and control standards, which relates the number of the spent by the team members on each task. So which relates to the number of hours spent by the team. So all this is about identify installation standards. So last one, identify project team organization. Here, project leaders, especially large projects, should have some control over their project team. For example, might take software developers and business analysis in different loops, and the project leader monitors and have control over the project team organization. Here some of the controls are taken by software developers. So here project team, here project leader monitors and control over the project team organization. So this is all this about project infrastructure. So this is the So all these about so this is all these about the project infrastructure, identify relation between the project and strategic plan, understand standards and procedure, and also identify the project team organization. Okay, students. Today, so this is so we completed our first unit. So does anybody has any doubt regarding the so far covered topics? Write a message in chat box, or tomorrow class will ask your doubts regarding the first unit.